So now that the lease has been fully signed, all the documents are signed, you've given your checks for the security deposit, the first month's rent, the broker fee. Now it's just a matter of waiting to actually take over and move into the apartment. So what has to happen between the time of those documents and the checks were handed over and the actual move-in is there are several things that you're going to want to address and handle prior to move-in. You're going to want to speak with your agent and get the landlord's contact information or whoever the landlord's contact is. They have a property manager. Who is that? Their contact information. But many times you'll probably get the landlord's information directly on smaller buildings or a property manager on larger buildings. So you want to make sure you have the contact for the landlord. And you want to make sure that they have your contact information, name, phone, emails, etc. So that if you have to get in touch with them, you're able to. You're going to want to confirm, like, how do they want future rent payments handled? Is it going to be via direct deposit? Is it going to be Venmo? Is it going Zelle? Is it going to be handled by check every month? And where is that to be sent, etc. So there's no confusion over that. You're going to want to contact the utility company to transfer the utilities into your name starting the day that the lease begins. And I'll link down below the PSE&G is the primary utility company for gas and electric in Hudson County, and they have a website link where you could set that all up online with their start and stop service. So you want to create your account and start service the day your lease starts for gas and electric. If gas is not included in your lease, you're going to be paying for that separately, and you're going to want to set that up through PSE&G besides the electric bill. You're going to want to get a renter's insurance policy to cover your personal items and also in case there's a fire or something happens inside the unit that damages the unit, you're going to want to cover that. So you'll speak to the landlord regarding how much liability coverage is needed, and you'll get a renter's insurance policy. There's many different companies that handle renter's insurance. Usually it's done through a similar company to your auto insurance if you have a car. The popular ones are like Lemonade, Allstate, State Farm, Travelers. You can get a renter's insurance policy. They're relatively inexpensive, probably no more than like a few $100s or maybe $300 a year. And you're going to want to ensure however much liability coverage the landlord is asking for, plus whatever personal items that you want to insure inside your unit, your furniture, personal effects, etc. So you're going to want to get the renter's insurance policy and then get the copy of that policy to your agent so that they can forward that to the landlord. You're going to want to see if you need to formally schedule a move into the building. If it's a large scale building and there's a property management or a condo association involved, you're going to have to formally schedule a move into the building. Elevator buildings, usually there's reservation times. So you'll have to contact the management office, get that information from your agent, and see when you're able to schedule your move. Sometimes you're not able to move into the building on the day the lease starts. Some buildings do not allow weekend move-ins or Sunday move-ins or evening move-ins. So that all should be handled up front. I recommend handling that as soon as possible. As soon as the lease is signed, calling that building and scheduling it. If it's a smaller scale building, it may not be necessary to schedule a move, but you ask your landlord and confirm that information. Depending on which town you're going to be moving in, you may be able to reserve parking in front of the building. You'll have to contact the town's parking authority, depending on which town you're living in. On their website, they'll have information regarding moving trucks, how much it costs to put signs up. I know Hoboken, there's a fee to reserve signs for no parking for moving trucks. You'll have to go to City Hall. I recommend looking up the town website for whatever town you're living in and seeing under their parking authority section what information is regarding moving trucks and moving vans, etc. So you'll want to handle that. You'll want to speak with your agent regarding the key exchange. How is that being handled? Are the keys going to be left with the doorman starting the day of the lease? Are you going to pick them up from a real estate office? Are you going to be meeting with the landlord directly? I've had all of these situations play out on apartments that I've rented where sometimes we hand the keys directly to the tenant. Sometimes they're left for the tenant with a concierge. If it's a concierge building, sometimes they're left at a real estate office, and many times the landlord will meet with them directly. So you're going to want to speak regarding that. how are the keys being handled. So those are like the basic, kind of like tips towards starting the lease. You're also going to want to put a note in your schedule for when the lease renewal is going to be due. So that you'll, to remind, if you haven't heard from the landlord at that period of time, you may want to reach out 60 days prior, or if they haven't gotten to you on the lease renewal, what are those new lease terms that are going to be handed to you. New Jersey has rent control, in each town usually has a landlord-tenant office regarding what is legal increases of rent, what expenses can be passed along to a tenant, etc. So depending on which town you're moving to, if it's Hoboken, for example, there is a landlord-tenant office. It's also on the city website, which goes over information regarding rent increases. Jersey City has something similar. So that's all located on the local municipal website for that town that you're renting in. And I do recommend looking at that as you're renting in the apartment and prior to the lease coming to an end, so that you know your rights as far as lease renewal and potential rent increase, etc. If you have any further questions about this, please let me know. I can be reached at 347-448-3766. Oh, and one more thing. You're going to want to obviously contact the United States Postal Service, have your mail forwarded. I'll put the link down below for mail forwarding to the new address. And that could all be done online. But once again, any questions, you can reach me at walter@livingonthehudson.com or at 347-448-3766. Thank you.